He's 1-0. So let's see if Violet can tie it up. Alrighty, cool.
Ooh.
So after that, what are you thinking? I mean, it's kind of hard to say.
Yeah, it's weird because, like you said, Violet opened up with aggression kind of in mind and then didn't do it. So Bale's attack later on was that much stronger.
Yeah.
So yeah, hard to really say, but a probe is going out right away yet again to drop something on low ground up in the top corner.
And look at that.
And
I guess here we go.
person
On the
that
top
did
left. Yes. Like a boss. It is our red Protoss player from Team Elevate. It is Bales.
And his opponent down here in the bottom right-hand corner of the map, representing Envious, it is Violet. Changed colors this time too. He's blue.
Yeah. That usually means that he's, switching up his whole game plan. He's like, that other color wasn't working out for me, so.
Yeah, you get a bail on it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Hey, shout out to, who was it here from Elevate? I believe it was Insidia, who's like, it is Team Elevate, never Elevate Gaming, ever. I said, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to disrespect you. I'll put some respect on your team, all right? I got you.
Yeah, they aren't playing games.
No.
I think that's it. Get the patrol around the hatchery here coming down, and it was Gateway before Nexus this time. A little bit safer, especially on the much wider ramp here.
Yeah. And, I mean, it would be such a big risk to do that. Like Frost, that might have been why Violet didn't opt to go for the attack. You can actually wall it off with a very minimal amount of buildings. So maybe he did that, and it was like, oh, crap, maybe this isn't the best idea.
Yeah, it's one of the most choky ones that's still in the game. And it's really close to the Nexus, too.
Yep.
So you get good coverage and positioning on the pylon, the ramp, etc.
All right. Well, Violet getting that very early third here, and here at the Natural is just deciding whether it is he wants to continue to mine gas after that 100 gas is mined. And it looks like he will pull out. He might keep one in there just to get enough to go up to lair, which is what he did last time.
Yeah.
But Bales, what are you doing, bro?
He is chronoing out that first Adept. That's the second one queued up behind that.
Yep.
Hasn't finished a wall off or anything on the low ground yet.
He's actually getting a Stargate here.
Hiding the tech in the back.
Like, it's so far back, right? So sometimes you'll see the Protoss player use it at the wall, and they're not afraid to show what it is. And this time, Bales wants it to be as big of a surprise as possible and keep Violet in the dark, especially because Violet didn't opt to go for the Overlord speed. So he's going to have to get a slow Overlord in there.
Is he going to get caught with the Adept here? It is going to cancel its shade.
He was hoping that Violet went back, but no.
Yeah.
Speed might finish up before he gets home. Maybe not, though. And, yeah, I think this Adept is going to make it home.
Yep. And adding on 2 more gateways back by that Stargate, getting the Oracle out.
All right, so Oracle will be the choice. And I've seen Oracles not be as effective lately just because of their Queen buff range. And a lot of Zerg players will put down the blind Spore Crawlers anyway. But on a map like King Sejong, that Oracle is going to get to the Natural so fast that I don't think the Spore Crawler is going to be complete by the time it gets there. It will be really close, though.
Yeah, he's great going to be on the edge. And, of course, he'd have to attack either that or the Queen first. He will swing off to the side a bit, maybe going towards that third base, but the Spore will be up there as well.
Wow, that was just in the nick of time. Yeah, really good timing by Violet.
Yeah, gets 1 kill, but obviously wanted a bit more than that.
He definitely did. It kind of sucks when you don't get too many kills with the Oracle, but it's always good when you keep it alive because then you're able to go ahead, keep a tab on the army, put the Revelation up. So, yeah, although it's not as good as it used to be when it first came out and people had no idea how to play Oracle, losing their whole mineral line. That's what I love about StarCraft, too.
Exactly. I like one of the most underused abilities still is the stasis field.
Yeah.
thing, and especially on a narrower map like this where there's a few paths all choked off, can actually be pretty effective when they don't expect it.
It can be so effective. It just if you put them in a place where you think an engagement will happen, it almost is like a not a force. It's like a force field, but of course you can't kill the units that are in it. But it's actually really cool when you're able to really predict the movement of your opponent, get that stasis field in the right place, and it actually turns the tide of the battle. So that's a lot of lings here. Bales is like, I don't want none of that. He's going to be trapped here. You might actually let the finish.
Yeah, the Oracles will try and clean up the numbers a little bit.
This is good, though. The Oracles keep those Adepts alive.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to quite reveal where the Adepts were just then, but he caught the expansion starting to come down.
Yeah.
And had to just take the fight.
All right, well, the Oracles came to save the day. Adepts are going to go home, and this does give Bales that opportunity to come back, collect his thoughts, realize what he wants to be the next step, as he already secured his own third. So viOLet actually only just now getting the lair, so he doesn't have any options to go for any tech aside from the roaches. And I believe one upgrade at a time, because I think it's only one Evo chamber that he has. Yep.
So. Yeah, indeed, and he's getting a macro hatch in addition to the fourth hatchery there. And like you said, fairly low tech, so he may be just looking to make a ton of units of low tech, and there comes a Baneling nest.
Okay, I guess that was the other tech, my bad.
Yeah.
So he's going to go for Banes. Roach Bane with melee upgrades, and nowadays, Protoss have been slacking on their sentries. I've seen a bit of resurgence, though, with more sentries coming out. So with the Ling Bane style getting a bit more popular, I think that Protoss have realized that sentries do have a bit of value indeed still, even with Ravagers, you know?
Yeah, it's the Ravagers that made everyone lose faith in them.
Yeah.
That they were just too fragile to be in that sort of bombardment-based army. But, with people not doing that as much, they are going to come back. They have a lot of utility still.
They really do. Even if for the scout, the hallucination. Yeah, but viOLet looking like he does want to get really aggressive, or at least start making that army, because he's up to 73 drones. He has the fourth base already up. Didn't put down any additional tech aside from the Baneling nest. And I think we're just going to see a big Roach Ling Ravager Bane, whether it be an attack or whether it be setting up for a defense, remains to be seen. But if I know viOLet, I think it's going to be aggression.
Yeah, one would think so. Oracle's doing the revelation there pretty much on all the bases, trying to see where things are going, what's being built. These back rocks coming down to these roaches.
Yeah, he needs to really split his army correctly here, because it's going to be an attack on two fronts. And on one front, it's going to be pure Roach, which is the left. But on the right side, it's going to just be Roach, Ravager, Ling Bane. And with the sentry count, I think that's pretty good. But one big hit on those Adepts, those Banelings are going to get some really nice value, because it is +1 against the non-armored Adepts. Yeah, good defense on the left here from Bales.
Yeah, nice force fields, and Mothership Core able to clean up most of that. And the main army is going to reposition.
Wow. viOLet was really hoping that would have done a lot more, but it didn't. And he even backs up from the regular attack, and he goes back to droning up to 15 more, which will bring him to 85. I assume he's going to start making some static. Oh, what a sick revelation right there. Getting the
everything.
This is looking kind of grim, though, for viOLet. And I think what the reason why he's going for the Spire is just because he wants to go into a potentially base race scenario, because he's on this weird army tech. He's just Roach Ling Bane, and Bales is starting to get his... Actually, you know what? He doesn't have any AoE, so I don't think it's as bad for viOLet. This gets really bad when disruptors and stuff come out. So
yeah, for sure. There is the Archons. That's going to eventually get up there, but it's not just yet.
No. Yeah, and it's not even like he's so far ahead in upgrades either. So many Lings here make it so that he's able to really get some good value from them. And the Banes, if they can get some hits, it'd be really nice. Corrosive Vials break down the force fields, and they get replaced here by Bales. He's doing an amazing job with this defense at the moment, even just holding it down, making sure that they can't flank him from both sides, and a beautiful defense out of Bales. He's able to keep this up and be able to secure that fourth base. He even blinks on top of the roaches and some of these Ravagers. And oh my god, look at that unit loss tab, and you will cry if you are.
Ouch. That is. With that said, there's still both at pretty even supply here, and see if Bales can get some damage done. The Ravagers now finishing up. Ling's coming in to attempt to surround a lot of things. Nice force fields, though, yet again. The Banelings can't get close enough to connect to anything of value.
There hasn't been any real good Baneling connections at all.
He drove half them into the two Archons that were in front in that last engagement. Now choking on the ramp here, the Banelings try and get something weak.
Oh, man. Wow, Bales is making pure Stalker at the moment, but he needs to be careful because viOLet is making pure Ling. He no longer has those sentries to protect them anymore, and the Corrosive Vials get some good hits. The mutas have not been utilized here out of viOLet yet, and if he's able to clean up enough of these Stalkers, the muta switch is going to be so sick. He just needs to actually survive here, and Lings are going to be able to do this with +2, I think. Good Corrosive Vials, good go! The dodges out of Bales are pretty good. And I think after this round, we might see that muta switch if he's able to clean it up. He just hasn't been able to really kill everything yet.
Yeah, the Oracle's still putting in work there, going to town on these Ravagers. He will now finally be able to take this base out. More Lings are coming. A Dark Shrine is about 2/3 of the way done as well.
Oh, no.
Could be a nail in the coffin if that surprises him.
Yeah, the Dark Shrine, if not with the DTs, but just the ability to make more Archons with using less gas. I just think that viOLet, he thought that he could hold with the Lings and then switch up to mutas, but Bale's looking a little bit too strong. Good micro, good force fields, and just the efficiency of the army has been phenomenal out of our Elevate gamer, or Elevate player. Sorry. I did that just to try.
No, they're not gamers.
He's not a gamer, he's a player. I'm not a gamer, I just rush a lot.
4 DTs joining and passing the army here. Now going to go down to that lone base on the bottom left.
Oh, this is sick, though.
Oh, could be good Baneling connections.
Woo!
Explosions do blink away from it, though. These Adepts in the middle go down.
Okay. +2. Oh, remember, though, the Ravagers and Roaches do not have any upgrades of their own. And that could have been a nice little trade that viOLet was looking for.
Yeah, pushes it back, but he does that get that base on the left-hand side now going into the third. There's not a whole ton of mining left here for viOLet. He's got to get something reestablished relatively quickly.
Well, the DTs are inside of the third of viOLet during all of this, so he needs to have his attention in 2 places at once. He does not have an overseer with his main army, so he's not going to be able to see any of these ones that are at his army. Oh, this is just good buying of time from Bales, who has a superior economy and just superior tech. I mean, has viOLet even made anything other than Roaches and Banes and Lings and Ravagers? It's just not the best here at the 13-minute mark.
Yeah, definitely not the type of composition you want at this point. It's fine if you still maybe have those 5 bases, but we're not in that stage anymore.
And the gas bank for viOLet, you know, I mean, even Infestors at this point would have been better because at least it would have allowed him to go ahead and get those Corrosive Vials to guarantee the hit and then limit the blinking. Oh, no, this is not a GG. Wow, Bales takes game number 2, and he will knock viOLet into that losers match. Really, really nicely done by Bales, though. I mean, every engagement that he took, it just was so cost efficient.
Yeah, very well done, and good avoiding. With so many Ravagers, he was being quite cautious not to get caught in any of the bombardment of fire from the sky. Also, avoiding a lot of real clumping around Banelings. Very often the Banelings, because of either force fields and just way the army position, was getting kind of stuck in the back and not actually getting up there to connect.
Like the fight on the ramp where the Banelings were about to connect, and then he would blink like a few Stalkers just so that it would never get that juicy hit where you're in the middle of all of the Protoss units. So I think...
So true. What do you think, Steadfast?
I think that was really well played from Bales right there. Very impressive. Mm-hmm. He actually managed to go through the internet and knock out my power. Very well done from Bales. And then followed it up Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, exactly. He didn't even need High Templar tech for that. And then he followed it up with a sick 2-0 over one of the best players in the North American region right now.
Damn, man. Really solid.